Because you still get a dependency problem on behavior or however you move. Like when people say like you don't get addicted to weed, I'm like, okay, talk to your mans. He was like this. I was like, do you smoke before you eat breakfast? He was like, I can't eat breakfast unless I smoke.
That's an addictive thing.
That's what I'm saying. So I was like, that sounds like a problem. And I was like this. I was like, you've been raising children since I've known you before you had kids. How many sober days? Because when you think sober, you think, oh, intoxicated, just drunk. Like, oh, you drunk every night just to get to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But you were never actually sober to experience your own family.
Yeah, I think a lot of these natural things like marijuana, shrooms, I feel like these are the earth's medicines, just like broccoli. It might sound funny, but just like broccoli.
I agree with you 1,000% on that.
And
I'm terrified.
You could have got me to do that back in college.
I'm terrified. I'm terrified to even do something like an Adderall.
I tried Adderall. Adderall's good.
Mad regularly.
That's what everybody said. Man, everybody. I've never heard a bad thing about Adderall ever in my life. That's why I'm scared of it, because I've never heard a bad experience.
Because people keep going in on them, and they're like, they don't know when to stop. Then
it's addictive.
Then once it's addictive. So and once they get done with it, they just crash and like they get mad depressed.
And the reason it was addictive for me because when the first time I took something, I've never experienced everything being lined up to where like
focus.
I can hear you. I can boom, boom. The memory's on point.
It's really like that.
This is how I'm supposed to live. But I always grew up ADHD, ADD'd out. So I don't know that side of things. To me though, I'm like, okay, this is the goal. Whereas I feel like the other side of me is like, no, just keep taking it. You ain't got to work on this shit. Just keep taking it. But I'm like, no, I need to work on it because this is where addiction comes in. And I was still popping them. If I had like quizzes or something, I'm like, well, let me get some Adderall. But eventually I'm like, no, just work on this shit. But this is the goal. I see how kids become fucked up because what happens is if you give a 5-year-old that say it's focus, that muscle of focus, the Adderall does the work for you. He's on that pill for about 10 years. That's 10 years of not actually working on that muscle.
And so not actually being that person.
Right. You've never
shit. I never even thought of it like that.
You've never gotten a chance.
You've never been you. Not one time.
Right. And that's why I say like these things, and maybe not Adderall, but these things are the earth's medicines. But they're not meant to be lived off of. They're meant to experience either, this is how you should feel,
like
or to help you get that edge off while you're working on it.
So you think taking certain drugs from the earth are okay,
like weed and shrooms,
for a certain
ayahuasca,
for a certain period?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're bad. You know what I'm saying? That'd be extremely arrogant.
It's hard to understand
growing up how we grew up.
No, how somebody wants to be high all the time.
But there's people that we know are raising families high all the time.
The only thing that I can compare it to is being drunk all the time, and that sounds miserable.
You have no idea, bro.
Yeah, some people.
That sounds miserable because
certain drugs even you out. Like I can live off of Adderall.
First
it brings me to a regular human
alcohol evens you out too.
Right. Some people.
That's what I'm saying. So there's some people that it evens it out. That's what I'm saying. It evens
so then you understand why they could be high and drunk all day.
No, I do not. No. I do not want to feel that. I do not want to feel that every day.
That person, it's evening them out. They don't know that this is temporary and that they need
they're just medicating themselves in the worst way. And, and it's killing their insides. And then it's literally like, you're not really that functional anymore. You just think you're having a good time.
I don't think they're thinking about it.
And then you're just dying. And you don't even realize until one day you wake up and you're like, oh shit, all my worst decisions have always came over alcohol.
And I think that's the problem. Because I
don't think anybody that smokes weed would ever say that it's okay to take Advil all day long because it makes you feel good.
Correct.
Advil. I'm never
anything. Like any drug. I don't think no one would ever say, like, yo, why are you taking Advil all day long? Like that's too much.
I think everybody's a hypocrite.
Right.
Everybody's a hypocrite. If you smoke weed all day long and you talk shit about people taking Advil, just because it's natural doesn't matter. You're still using this for a reason.
Especially the weed now. Like
it's natural and I don't think it's bad. But if you're using it for something, because I think we all want that peace, we all want that normalcy, but the problem is that we are depending on things to bring us to that normalcy, and we're also not working on figuring out how do we get there when we're regular.
Because you still get a dependency problem on behavior or however you move. Like when people say like you don't get addicted to weed, I'm like, okay, talk to your mans. He was like this. I was like, do you smoke before you eat breakfast? He was like, I can't eat breakfast unless I smoke.
That's an addictive thing.
That's what I'm saying. So I was like, that sounds like a problem. And I was like this. I was like, you've been raising children since I've known you before you had kids, how many sober days? Because when you think sober, you think, oh, intoxicated, just drunk, like, oh, you drunk every night just to get to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But you were never actually sober to experience your own family. That's gotta be something.
That's a scary thing. That's a scary thing. Your whole life.
There's a lot of people that do that.
Your whole life has been seen through being
a certain lens.
Being seen through having this certain kind of drug in your body. I think that's just a crazy way to go about life.
But I do endorse it in case you have like appetite problems or
go
to sleep. But you can't wake up like wake and bake and then go through your day like that's. I know people. We know people that do that.
I used to be like that,
and I'm not talking about anything. So I mean, I already know that we're going to get flack from this from people that smoke. You know what I mean? Like 100% you're going to get flack from it. And I'm not saying smoking is a bad thing. Same thing. Like I mean, I drink, and
that's worse.
That is. And it's way worse than smoking. Way worse than smoking.
I would never got babies because of drinking.
What drinking does to your body is straight.
Deteriorates.
You're just putting poison in your body. You're killing your body by doing it.
Let me take my shirt off right now.
But I don't want to do that every day. I want to experience that moment, that high or that
it's
feeling.
A depressant, whatever. But it's like
whatever I feel in that moment.
It lowers your inhibitions. It does like certain things to like just be like. It gives you that fuck it.
Everybody wants that peace.
I'm gonna do something stupid. Whatever.
Everybody wants to feel normal. Everybody wants to feel grounded. And you have to understand, in order to truly feel that way, you've got to figure out, how do I do this when I'm sober? Now, you can use the point when you're high as a reference. Like, yo, okay, this is how I want to feel when I'm sober. Yeah. How do I get here? But you have to know that you can get here in a sober state. A lot of us don't know that we can do that. Yeah. I was dumb enough as a kid to think, oh, I can learn how to focus. When they told me, no, it's impossible. You need meds. I'm like, I was dumb enough to be like, no, I can work on this.
No, that sounds like
now it sounds, yo, that's completely easy. Go on YouTube, all these extras.
Man, you could work. You could 100% work on yourself and make yourself be.
A lot of us don't know that from emotional issues to focus issues. We don't know that we can work on these things. And when we see something as natural as marijuana, it's gonna be hard too. Something as great as marijuana, like the benefits, marijuana is beautiful, easy is it? And it's from the earth.
Music is the shit. Food's the shit.
It makes it.
Imagine
you're hilarious.
Imagine running from your natural self
your whole life. You're literally your whole life.
That's a wild experience.
But that's what most people in America are doing.
Now I do it. No, I do it. Like as far as when I'm drinking, I'm like, you know what? Bills is due. Things is going on. I want to go have some drinks and just laugh.
Right. I
experience it. I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to have to deal with that today. I'll go ahead and tackle it tomorrow.
But that to me some normal shit.
I do it, but to not know or want to know and tap into your regular self. Your regular self is beyond me, and not want to fix it, because I think I could be wrong about this too, because I'm not a doctor. I think everything can be fixed if you practice it.
Yes. This is where we come back.
But when you have that
secret, this is where we come back to that secret: believing you can change it, taking action towards it, and focusing on it.
But I can stop myself from drinking if I really wanted to stop myself from drinking.
But there's some people that drink so much.
If I wanted to dive into things that are going on with me drinking, I can fix it.
You can right now. Maybe you can. But what I'm saying to you is like when they
you
say
can't
like,
say no. Don't say no one. You can't.
We've all known people that have been drunk basically their whole lives when you've known them. Every time they were wherever they were at, they was on some level of drunk. They woke up in the morning, they started drinking. They went out and worked, they was drinking. Like we know these people. If you stop them people from drinking, they're gonna die. Because your body has a chemical dependency on it.
Especially at a certain point. It's gonna get real.
That's what I'm saying.
Now
people die off alcohol all the time when they hit rehab.
If you don't,
you have to get the drug.
You don't do it correct.
If you don't do it the right way, you die.
Because they have what's called MAT now, where they medically help you transition off because
you're so far gone.
Yeah, and your body's dependent on it. Right. That's what dope sick is. We know dope sick now,
right?
But that happens with alcohol, and they put that shit in commercials. You know what I'm saying? And then they make crazy hard ones. Like what's a seltzer? Like what's a White Claw? Vodka soda. Oh, yeah, 7% alcohol.
There's something in there.
Yeah, whatever. But we ain't getting into that. That's how you're gonna do me.
Big conversation. Like, hey, yo, get your drink.
About people,
get your medicine.
Yeah, get your medicine. We don't want you to die mid podcast. Fuck y'all.
But I think for all of us, and I'm including you in this, especially for your anxiety, we got to think of ourselves as like your whip. You know what I'm saying? Imagine something's going on under the hood with this anxiety. You're driving back and forth to work, and you just keep putting gas in it. Like, this is fine. That gas is those shrooms. whatever, yeah, I'm fine. Like, you can't keep ignoring. You need to take this to the mechanic and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Now,
You
I think-
recognize that when you start like really losing your shit.
I think for us as individuals, people who might not want to go to a therapy or even a doctor, is just exploring it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many books are you reading on it? Like, there's people who have probably been in worse positions than you that have came out of it. Who are they? I guarantee they out there talking on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? There's,
Oh, I
people,
guarantee- and but,
there's
like-
people that we could follow.
And that's when we go back to my
Every issue.
mentality about fuck them all.
When I jacked up my ankle, there's millions of people in there who helped me bring my ankle back. Same thing with the anxiety. But it's like, how much attention are we giving it every day? You can go to route, but I will make sure you're still checking under the hood. You can go ahead and keep putting gas and getting oil changes, but you might want to check on them spark plugs. You can check on them spark plugs.
Check on something else. I agree. I agree.
Do-
100%.